Hi everybody, I'm Christian, this is Lazy Devs. This was delicious tea. Ah yes, and so here we are now. Here we are doing our let's play, not let's play, but our let's program, so to speak, of Pico-8. Of a Breakout clone in Pico-8, to be more specific. When you play this game, it's looking way... I always say the same at the beginning of the episode, but it looks a lot better every second. So one thing I wanted to show you, I've been actually going a little bit through some of the to-do lists, and so here's a couple of things. So this is what we're gonna try to do today, to go to the main menu from game over. Then there's some bunch of UI stuff. I already have some really good ideas there. Then we have to do level design. That's probably not something I'm going to do live. That's something I will like, spend some time with alone, trying to figure out. Then there's some gameplay tweaks, maybe smaller paddle, maybe power-up timers tweaking and stuff like that. We have to do a logo and some sprites maybe as well. And then there's going to be some, I also added that, I haven't discussed this last time around, but maybe like some additional decorations with particles. That would be kind of nice. So for example, it would be nice if the text boxes, they kind of like are very simplistic right now. They're just like these squares and they don't move. It would be nice if they're just like particles going around them. Also, that's something I really am looking forward to, but that's something after we have like a logo. So it would be nice if the main menu had like some particles flying in the background a little bit, so it looks more lively. Stuff like that. I want to add a little bit more liveliness to the game. Again, it's part of like this juiciness, although I could call it the decorations, because it's not really juiciness in the terms of like, it's not really anything about the game being more interactive. It's just looking less static. It is kind of like everything related to the idea of juiciness, but not quite the core of what juiciness is all about. It's kind of like kind of around this. And then good to have things that I'm not necessarily like going to lose sleep over if I don't get it done. Increasing a little bit of the sound, having like a fanfare when you win the game. Start screen music would be also great, and then also fanfare when you win the level and win the game as well. And also maybe going back to the collision once more. I know it's a sore topic because it was kind of like a bit of a messed up moment in this let's play or in this tutorial. So I'm not exactly sure. So here I'm gonna quit my my Dropbox, because as I'm recording this, all my students are handing in their how do I quit this? Are hanging in their tasks that I gave them. So they're giving me all the Pico-8, the stuff that they programmed. So anyways, so I wanted to show you an interesting feature. I've been working a little bit in the meantime. So you see, I've been losing sleep, and so I've been working on a couple of things that I think you might enjoy. So there's a cool function. I'm in the command line again. You can export your sheet, your entire sprite sheet, because you know sometimes maybe you don't want to work just here. Maybe you want to use an actual like pixel art tool to get like some really nice sprites done, maybe like a logo and stuff like that. So if you want to like load this up in Photoshop and paint these things in Photoshop, you absolutely can. Here's how you can do this. So you get an export and test and PNG. If you type in PNG, it will actually take the sprite sheet and export it into a PNG, and it's going to be a 128 times 128 image. And then you can edit in Photoshop and then do something stuff with this. So I actually did this. So I'm going to now do this, import sprite sheet. I think I call it sprite sheet dot png. I'm going to check the folder. It's called just sheet. Import sheet dot png, and we'll take whatever PNG file, like if it's the right size, we'll take the PNG file and we'll do the best to I guess squish it into the Pico-8 palette. And so if you load this, it's pretty much looking the same, but oh, look at this. Oh, we have some additional images for the blocks. As you can see, they're not quite aligned perfectly with the sprite, so we're going to have to, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. And then if we go to the next thing, we have our beautiful breakout. Breakout. I'm gonna make, actually, I was thinking about doing this blue. We have a beautiful breakout logo. I actually sat down and took the logo from the YouTube thumbnails that I'm always using, and kind of like try to make this work in Pico-8. And I think we succeeded here. I think this looks really nice. I'm really enjoying this. So the next task is going to be to make those things happen. I know I had like other to-do lists on my to-do list, other items on my to-do list, but I thought I'm gonna treat myself a little bit and enjoy a little bit, because these are very enjoyable stuff. Maybe just talking a little bit about how I made these graphics. I basically loaded up the PNG in Photoshop and just played around a little bit. And I think that generally the trick or the secret to pixel art is really just patience. Like with a lot of things in game development, it's really just patience, trying different things, especially because it's so easy to be like, okay, I have no idea, or just picking like the first thing that you draw, and being like very unhappy with the result, because like, oh, I cannot draw, I cannot pixel art, bull. I tried the first thing and it didn't work. And generally, like this is also generally I see a lot of times when students are trying to do something, when they try to program things, when they try to do pixel art, when they generally do something in video games that are kind of like outside, or in development of video games that are outside of their comfort zone. They try one thing, it doesn't work, and they stop. And they say, oh, I guess I'm not a programmer. I guess I'm not an artist. I guess I'm not a blah, 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 you know? And I get that. I sometimes get frustrated myself. For example, I tried to do like a tune, and I did not succeed. And so I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to take, you know, a little bit of a break at some point and try to do it again. But you should not let this discourage you. You should not. Your takeaway should never be, I guess I'm not that kind of person. I think this is really harmful if you do that. Instead, what your takeaway should always be is like, I guess I will try it again and again and again. And every time you try it again, you get a little bit better. And eventually you actually turn into this kind of person that you thought you weren't. And so the same thing with pixel art. I think, especially with pixel art, you have to try a lot of things. And so these are, it seems like, oh, these are really nice looking blocks. But I was actually experimenting a lot. I might actually show, I don't know if I still have the Photoshop file. Especially, I was trying a lot of things. Like I had like 5 different variations of this block. And this worked from the get-go, so that was kind of like nice. But this took a while, this took a while. I tried different things, tried different colors, especially with the Pico-8 palette. It's very easy to make something that has very high contrast, and I think the pills are starting to look really dated in this regard. They don't really look, don't really utilize the colors as nicely, I think, as these blocks do. Well, that's a very long intro here. So now we imported this style sheet. I wanted to change the outline of the letters to this dark blue. So let's just start to implement this stuff. So first of all, I want to start drawing this beautiful logo on our start screen. So this starts at tile 64. So let us go to the draw function of start. I'm gonna quote this out, and I'm gonna go like SPR, because this is Sprite 64. Then the top left corner, let's go 1010 for now, and then we're gonna figure something out. Top left and corner in X and Y direction. Now comes width and height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 width. Is that true? Just making sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in height. Let's see if this works. Okay, we have the logo here. It's not quite in the right position. So let us position this a little bit better. So let's go 32 maybe. Oops. A little bit more. 42. Too much. 38. A little bit less, 36 probably. Yes, this looks nice and centered. So now we have the beautiful logo drawing in here, and now something I want to do is get rid of the pink. So we're going to go pal t, and what is the number of the pink color? That's number 14. Pal t 14 true. And then right afterwards we're going to go pal t. And we have a beautiful logo going on. This looks nice. Okay, so a couple of other things. So I really like the text here. I want to add the text as a kind of like a subline here. So I'm going to add here draw logo. And like maybe I'm going to do like something like by lazy devs. By lazy devs, something like this. I wanted to have it in this dark color. Let's see how this works. A little bit further down, 45. Let's try this. Yes, a little bit maybe higher up, 44. 43 is going to be the juicy thing. Oh right, we have to also keep in mind that we also of course want to add this to the position of the logo, so we can move it to the side when we make the high score list fly in. So this works. Oh, except this is kind of weird. We have to figure this out in a second here. What's happening here? Why is it flicking like this? This is odd. I don't know. I have no idea. Does it have to do with a palette or something? I don't know. No. I have no idea what the problem is. Oh, wait. Oh, that is so stupid. Oh, of course. I put it in the wrong argument. Of course, this is the right argument. Now it works. Very easy mistake to make. So we're gonna go 34 here to center the subline a little bit. Let's go 40. Breakout by lazy devs. I misspelled lazy devs. And then maybe we're gonna put our URL right underneath. bit.ly/lazy devs. Man, so many people are handing in their assignments. I'm loving it. I think we're going to be at 36 or something like that. Oh, I have to put it in the next line. That's +6, right? So it's going to be 49. Nice. Okay. We're going to make this more interesting later on. For now, I'm just happy we have the logo. We're gonna make maybe some background, so this looks more alive. But so far, I'm happy with this. Now let us address the problem of the special blocks. So let us go to the draw game, and so this is where we are drawing things, right? Where we are drawing the blocks. Is it here? Brick. Okay, so what we had previously is like a brick color, and we'll just draw the brick in the color. I still want to keep the pink bricks as standard. So I'm not gonna, as you can see, these special sprites are only for the special bricks, not for the regular normal brick. Where am I? I'm here. So this is for the exploding block. This is for the indestructible block. Let me make it bigger. So the first one is the exploding block, the second one is the indestructible block, the third one is for the power-up block, and the last one is for the hardened block that needs to be hit once. So this is hardened, indestructible, and so forth. So how are we going to do this? Which block is going to be the one? So this is power up, this is hardened, this is indestructible, this is Is it true that only our... Okay, I'm just going to create a new local variable. Oops. Draw brick. Let's call it brick sprite, B sprite. So if it's set to false, I'm gonna just draw whatever there was. Let's just start really easy and be like, okay, let's B sprite equals false with this guy. And let us do the exploding one. Is this the exploding one? I think this is the exploding one. 8. Yeah, that was, no, 9. It was this one, 9. Where's 9? There it is. So let's go B sprite equals true. And then we're gonna go like B sprite X. Because they're all in the same line, so we just really need the X coordinate of where the block begins in the sprite. And for us, it's 64 and at where it begins, because we're going to draw those a little bit differently. As you can see, usually when you use the SPR function, you actually say which sprite you're talking about. You take this number here, right? But this is going to be a bit special. This is going to be a bit different. For this one, we're going to have to actually specify a coordinate. We're going to just draw this little piece and those 2 additional pixels. So it's going to be, it's actually 1 pixel. Yeah, it's 1 pixel. So it's not perfectly, it doesn't fit into our 8x8 frame. We're going to have to deal with it a little bit differently. Okay, so I'm going to take this guy. And so this is B sprite true, B sprite X 64. Okay, and so here I'm going to go if B sprite, then something happens, else rect fill. And okay, so if B sprite is set to false, we're just gonna draw as before. But if we're gonna go B sprite, we're gonna go super sprite. I call it super sprite, but it's not super sprite. So this is like a special function that draws sprites in a more advanced fashion. So first of all, we're gonna begin with source X. So first of all, you say where's the upper left corner of the sprite inside the sprite sheet. And it's you can see it down there, it's 64. But that's why we had this guy in here. So we're gonna go 64, what now the upper left corner of the sprite in the sprite sheet in the Y dimension, it's 0. What else? Then width and height. So let me see that real quick. I could have sworn it was 2 extra pixels. I'm a bit confused by this. Maybe I messed something up. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. Also, yeah, it's also, I think it's this. Yeah, it's messed up. Oh, it's messed up. Oh, oh no, I have to fix this somehow. Can I fix this? Oh yeah, it's messed up. I can tell. Here's the missing pixels. Okay, never mind. So we're gonna have to deal a little bit with the sprite editor here. So we're gonna move this 1 pixel to the right because the width is going to be 10 pixels and the height is going to be. Let's zoom in again. And height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pixels, right? And so now comes the destination. We're going to deal with a second. Let us fix the sprite first. I'm sorry that I'm jumping back and forth. I know this might be probably very confusing, but I'm also very confused right now myself. Okay, so let me fix the sprite. So this brown comes in here. Let us fill this gap. Let us fill this. Right. So this black comes in here. Like this. That seems fine. That seems like it's supposed to be here. And then this in here. This one seems good. Yeah. And now we get the proper progression here. Oh, I think there still might be some problems here. Let's just try this one first and then see what happens. Okay, so now comes the destination. So where to are we doing things? So this is bx and by. And is there anything else that this thing requires? You can also flip it, but we don't want to. So let us see if this works. It works. The only problem is the black is set to transparent, so we have to turn it off. So we're going to go, the black is not transparent, pal T 0 false. And then pal T, resetting it again. Whoops. Beautiful. Okay. So yeah, let us see if we can make the other guys work. So the next tile would be the indestructible tile, this guy here. So where is it? It's I, right? Let us see where it begins. It begins here at 74. So we're going to set this to 74. And then, of course, we have to put it actually in our map. So this is our level. So let us go like I4. And so here are indestructible tiles, and they seem fine as well. Good. So next one is the power up. The power up, I guess. Where does it begin in the tile? It begins at x coordinate 84. So let us go to the x coordinate 84. I'm lost a little bit. Oh, I'm in the wrong tab. Okay, so this was the power up, right? So this is the 12 here. So we're gonna go, and what was it again? 84? 84? Was it 84? 84, yeah. So while we're here, let's just make all the others also work. What was the next one? The next one was this one here. That was 94. 94, yeah. That was the hardened one. And the exploding brick, and we're going to set it to the same one as the... No, let us just make it white. I like painting those bricks white. Okay, the only problem... let's just go to the next level. I think we're going to see the power-up bricks there. And here are the power-up bricks. So I kind of like them. They have like this little symbol in them, which looks like the actual pill, like as if the pill is embedded in them. Okay, so the only thing missing is we need the hardened bricks. We haven't seen how the hardened bricks look like. Also, something we also haven't done is see how the hardened bricks work with all the there we go. That's P, right? So let's go H on this one. We haven't seen how the hardened bricks work after we add all those effects like the flashing and stuff like that. So I want to see how this looks like. Oh my gosh. Huh. It's not flashing really. Maybe I should make it flash. Oops. Okay, it's not flashing. So we're gonna go to the hit function. Hit brick, there we go. And where's the hardened? Explosion brick, power up brick, hardened brick, there we go. And then here's when we want to flash this. So let's go like this. Didn't flash. Weird. Oh, right. Of course. One important thing is that when we have a flash, then we shouldn't draw the sprites. B sprite and flash equals 0, because the flashing of course is just like drawing a square that is white, and if we're turning off the drawing of the squares instead of drawing the sprites, then they will never flash because they will never turn white. So I don't want to pick up the power-ups now. Yeah, that's good. It would be nice if it would bump them. Can we bump them? Can we bump them? Where it is in here, right? When we go spawn trail, shatter brick, there we go. There, we bumped the brick. So I want the brick that is hardened. I want to bump it before I make it flash. That's so good. Okay. All right. So what is the problem? Yeah, I have to use probably the last hit, right? Last hit X instead of the VX. Where is it? So here, because we use this in a different function. That function received last hit X and last hit Y as an argument. That's what we're referencing. Of course, now we no longer have this argument. So yeah. Still? Oh, and of course, and of course, B is also being an argument that's supplied by this function. So yeah, we have to do it like this. I'm being a bit silly. I'm sorry. I really liked how the exploding bricks look like. Ah, so good. Maybe a little too much. Let us go 0.5. look a little bit too rubbery when they have to look as if they're a bit too light. They should resist a little bit because they're hardened bricks, you know. Yeah, that's better. Maybe even less. Let's see how this works. Yeah, better. Oh, it's actually good. It's a good game. Ah, oof. Ah, like it. Cool. So we successfully implemented our new sprite sheets. One more thing that is still missing, I guess, is the ball. Right now I have the ball. I don't have an extra sprite for the ball. Maybe I will switch it eventually, but I kind of like the yellow thing. Something I might do is do the add a little bit of shading like the ball on the start screen has. I'm gonna actually try this out. One more thing as well is I have almost forgot. We flipped around some of the colors of the power-ups, especially the extra ball power-up is now yellow, and the mega ball power-up is now red, because I think red really seems like very aggressive, and I think that's really great for the mega ball. And then I'm using the yellow, and again, maybe it's, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to check if it's maybe too confusing. If you maybe, you know, you mistake the power up for the ball because the ball is kind of like coded as yellow. Let's see if this. This is so good. Oh, look at this chain. Oh. So we have to think a little bit about this. Let's see if we can. But I kind of like that it's yellow because you get an extra ball, so it kind of makes sense, you know, from like semantic standpoint that it would be yellow. So maybe we're just going to keep it around. But since we changed this, of course, we need to change some other things. For example, we need to change the trails of the or the puffed explosions, I guess. Here, so the mega ball is no longer pink but red. So it gets this from the multi-ball. So we're going to copy the puffed from the multi-ball, and this guy is now yellow. Yellow, the multi-ball. Oops. Oops. Okay. Where's the O? I always have trouble to press the O on this keyboard for some reason. So I'm going to actually use the colors from the death particles. I think that seems like a good idea here. There is a danger that people will confuse this for the death particles, but so let's see if we can maybe catch the yellow. There's the yellow. Yeah, I think we're fine. Also, the death particles are very extreme, so I don't think this is going to be such a big problem. I haven't paid attention to the particles. I'm going to try it again. I want to see the red. Look how skillful I am these days. Oh, it's so good. There we go. It's fine. It's fine. And the red one? Yeah, it's also fine. Good. Everything works. Oh, one more thing. So then, of course, when the ball turns into the mega ball, I wanted to turn red and not pink. I always thought the pink was a bit. It wasn't the right color for the angry ball, so to speak. So let's turn it into the angry red ball now. And of course, this means as well that the particles that we spawn behind the ball when it's angry is also gonna have to be red. Spawn trail, there we go. There we go. There's the trail that we are talking about. And so these are going to be red. So it's going to be 8, I guess. How do we progress? 8, 2. One? One is going to be invisible. So let's go 0. So now the task is to catch a Mega Ball. There's the Mega Ball. Ah, look at how angry it is. Ah, this was so good. I love it. Oof. Cool. So I'm stumbling over myself. We're gonna still might add additional sprites for the ball and the pad, but for now I just wanted to add these things because I think they add a lot of color to the game. Okay, good guys. So actually we didn't do the thing that we wanted to do in this episode, but we're gonna be back in the next episode where we're gonna actually do the thing that we wanted to do, and the thing that we wanted to do was doing the UI menu, the menu from the game over menu. I want to return to the main menu from the game over sash, so to speak. So yeah, that's we want to deal with that. The logo we can remove. See you next time around, guys. Bye bye.